Hello there, and thanks for visiting the Varykino YouTube channel. I'm Kristy.
And I'm Matt.
We're long-standing Star Wars fans who live and breathe Star Wars every day.
Welcome to another installment of Our Week with Star Wars, a series recapping the Star Wars fun we've had during the past week. First up, a moment we've been waiting for, but weren't actually, to be honest, expecting quite this early. We thought it might come a little bit down the line. But yesterday, an official poster for the upcoming Disney Plus series, The Acolyte, was released. And overnight, the Acolyte trailer came out. We got up quite early New Zealand time, 4 a.m, to watch this as soon as it was available. And this is a very exciting series that we're particularly looking forward to. There's not a lot of information about it, but that's actually intentional because this is billed as a mystery series. It's been described as being an overarching story, so it's not episodic, and it's going to be unpacked slowly so the viewer only gets a little bit of information as they go along. I think it's going to be quite a fun, different take on storytelling within the Star Wars universe.
I really loved this trailer. Like you said, we didn't really know much about this series before getting our first proper look at it, and I'm really loving just how much of the Jedi we are seeing in this. I always loved those sort of slightly shorter glimpses into Jedi life in the prequels. You know, obviously it sort of focuses on Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Anakin, but I always loved those scenes where we saw other Jedi going about sort of daily training on Coruscant at the Jedi Temple. I get the feeling we're going to get a little bit more about the sort of lives of Jedi in this series, which gets me really excited.
Well, yes, because this is set in the tail end of the High Republic era, so it's a very different Jedi Order from what we've seen before. They've got a lot more power, a lot more of a established institution. So there's a lot of storytelling associated with that notion in its own right.
I'm always excited whenever new Star Wars content is on the horizon, but now seeing the full proper trailer, I'm so excited, and June can't come soon enough.
Up until then, we'll keep watching The Bad Batch, and we've got a few other things that we're looking forward to in terms of Star Wars media coming out locally and globally, in fact, in terms of theatrical re-releases of movies. But up until then, we'll be watching The Bad Batch, of course. Last week was a double episode of Bad Batch. By the time many of you are listening to this, you will have watched the most recent episode of Bad Batch, which we'll be doing shortly after recording. Last week's, I loved the double episode last week. It was great actually having a double dose. It gives us a much more substantial story to get into, and it's really had some interesting addition of characters with Rex and Echo coming back into the mix.
Yeah, I really get the sense of it kind of building up, and I really can't wait to see what we're going to experience in those final episodes. Still not really ready for the end of the Bad Batch. We don't really know what the animation side of Lucasfilm has sort of, in the works to come after Bad Batch. Bad Batch sort of felt like the final little extension of the epic Clone Wars series, so I don't really know where they're going to go after this, but I'm really enjoying Bad Batch while I can.
A big event on our calendar was the Armageddon Expo, which took place locally in New Zealand down the line from us in Tauranga over the most recent weekend, 16th to 17th of March, Saturday, Sunday. We went down there because it's reasonable proximity to us, but particularly because there was a Star Wars celebrity guest in attendance. Spencer Wilding, who plays Darth Vader in the Rogue One, or one of the actors that plays Darth Vader in Rogue One, was there. So we very much enjoyed hearing his storytelling about his involvement in Star Wars and other fantasy and science fiction movies in particular. And we got his autograph while we're down there. We love getting never really intended to get into being big autograph collectors, but our autograph collection has grown substantially over the past decade or so.
Yeah, I know New Zealand is a long way from where many Star Wars actors usually live, so it's always exciting when they come all the way down to see us. So we really enjoy going to their panels, collecting their autographs, and taking some time to sort of talk to them and show our appreciation for their contribution to the Star Wars saga.
Star Wars costuming is a big part of our passion for Star Wars, and while we're down there, we also caught up with fellow members from the 501st Legion and Rebel Legion Star Wars costuming clubs and did a bit of work as in our own costumes at the booth raising funds for charity. We've been members of those costuming groups for a long time now, and events like this are a great opportunity to catch up with other fellow fans of Star Wars costuming. In terms of recent collectible acquisitions, we got an order from a local Star Wars retailer or a local collectible retailer, Freyaware, and we were able to pick up a few carded figures, TVC and a 6-inch on a bubble card at a discounted price.
I picked up the 6-inch credit collection, Bo-Katan. I was not able to find this one in my local stores, and I did want to keep it on card, so I'm really happy to have that one for my collection. We also picked up the TVC 3.75-inch Star Killer. I love the gaming greats figures. They're often harder to find in New Zealand, so really happy to add Star Killer to our collection. And last but not least, the Ayla Sakura from the old Cartoon Network micro series that was reissued for the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm. Again, another figure I couldn't find locally. So happy to finally have this one for my collection.
Yeah, so like as you say, the fact that none of these are available at the typical bricks and mortar stores, and the fact that we got those all during the seller's discount period means that it was a great haul to receive.
The rest of this week's Star Wars acquisitions occurred at Armageddon. Of course, we always look for the usual items like Funko Pop vinyls and action figures and such, but the Artist Alley sections of Armageddon Expos generally give us some really interesting, unique finds that we're not going to find at our local mall. All sorts of art prints and handmade items. So leading into our YouTube videos for the week, we posted our Armageddon Tauranga vlog from the event showing the Star Wars things that we saw, and a haul video showing off what Star Wars goodies we bought at the event. I was really delighted by the range. We found all sorts of different items that we just never find in our local stores. So it's really fun to support local small businesses.
Yeah, there was a lot of variety amongst those purchases. That was kind of fun. We also opened up the Vintage Collection Cassian Andor Aldani Mission version of the figure, and that is one of the YouTube videos that is available in our recent uploads list. We continued our run of Black Series The Bad Batch action figure unboxings with both Hunter, his original Clone Force 99 armor version, and Vice Admiral Rampart. We're going to continue working our way through the rest of our collection and the rest of that run of the Bad Batch characters over the next few weeks.
Next up, I unboxed the Gentle Giant Premier Collection Ahsoka statue as seen in the live action version as she appears in different Disney Plus series. I've had my eye on this one for a while and I managed to pick it up recently on clearance, so that was really exciting. And last but not least, I open up the Young Jedi Adventures Kai Brightstar and Hologram Yoda 2-pack. This was not available locally, so I had to import this one from overseas for my Young Jedi Adventures collection, and it was really fun finally getting to see that hologram Yoda figure in person.
So quite a fun bit of variety over our past week of Star Wars with that Armageddon Expo event, but also with the Acolyte reveal and trailer release.
And we'll be heading off very shortly to watch tonight's episode of The Bad Batch. I can't wait.
Yes, very shortly. So we'll wrap this up. Thanks for listening to another episode of our week of Star Wars. We appreciate you taking your time to listen to us.
And stay tuned for another episode next week. And as always, may the Force be with you. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, check out our other videos, and subscribe for alerts about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.